Dan Ramone, founder of Smart Hustle Media, and we're here today at NetSuite 2019 in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we've been talking to a lot of amazing people, and another amazing person. Chris is here from Manna International. Chris, thanks for being with us today.
Glad to be here.
Awesome. So Chris, tell us what's Manna International and what's your role there?
My role is CFO. I'm Chief Financial Officer for Manna Nutrition, and we're a not-for-profit headquartered in Charlotte, North Carolina, but with production facilities in South Georgia.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, our production facility symbolically and practically sits in the middle of a peanut field.
Okay.
We produce a product, ready-to-use therapeutic food. You might hear me say RUTF.
Please. Okay. And that's ready-to-use
therapeutic food.
Therapeutic food. And it is Manna
Yes.
Nutrition, exactly. Manna Nutrition.
Yes.
I mean, yes. Please go ahead.
Yes, and as I say, symbolically and practically, we're located there. The product itself is a food-based treatment for severe acute malnutrition, and one of the primary ingredients in it is peanuts.
Okay.
And so we happen to be in South Georgia in the middle of a peanut patch.
Nice. And then tell us, what do you do? Because I think many of us in America, I'm happy to say, blessed to say, we don't, when I hear the word severe malnourishment, I mean, malnourishment maybe, but severe, you mentioned that's your words.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Who is the audience you're serving? What are you trying to accomplish?
Well, our ultimate stakeholder really are kids that are on the brink of death from severe acute malnutrition.
And this would be, I'm assuming, in other countries outside the U.S. is your
outside
primary.
of the U.S.
Okay.
We do not treat any nutritional issues in the U.S. either tend to be on the side of obesity or on the side of hunger, but not malnutrition. And in fact, the kids that we serve don't even know what hunger. They're past hunger.
I understand.
And so the product we produce is distributed through organizations like UNICEF, USAID, and other non-governmental organizations like Samaritan's Purse, Food for Famine, Worldview, our World Peace, and Doctors Without Borders.
Got it.
And they use it in treatments in very severe cases, and today, to this day, still every year there are probably more than 3 million kids who die from severe acute malnutrition every year.
And can you give us a scenario, not mentioning a child's name per se, of course, but let's talk about a particular country, Ethiopia, Sierra Leone, I don't know where you want to pick. How does it happen? Why does it happen? Not to give us a whole economic lesson, but paint a picture for those of us who may not understand it. What's the scenario? What's happening?
It's not unusual that you see it in situations where there's strife from war and that sort of thing. Like today, South Sudan is a pretty hot spot, and you see a lot of that. So where you see these refugees that are having to move, are forced out of their homes and out of their villages and having to go into camps and refugee camps and that sort of thing. You see a lot of it there because they don't have the resources nearby, and you're really moving hundreds of thousands of people from where their current source of resources to areas where they just don't have it.
Yeah.
And so that's typically the place where you see it. And we see it very commonly in several countries in Western Africa. You see it in the Middle East and in Asian-based countries, a little bit in South America, but not so much there.
Absolutely. I was talking to somebody just today before we went on air, as it were, our talk today, and we were saying that we're at an amazing technology conference. We're talking about AI and machine learning and all kind of amazing things.
Right.
But when we talk to organizations such as yours, what this technology is enabling is changing someone's life. It's a not just our shares went down, stocks went up, or we lost brand value. This is somebody's life. So how important is the role of technology? All the things we talk about at this amazing conference, though, with your mission. How does that blend?
Our mission is a simple mission. Our mission is to feed kids. I mean, we try to keep it simple and straightforward. But in saying that, our mission is to feed as many kids as we possibly can. And our role in what we do is to have an impact on the whole marketplace. We are not the largest market share of RUTF producers out there, but we're significant enough that we can really have an impact on the overall market. And an impact, I mean, if we can continue to drive down the cost of producing the product, the lower the cost, of course, the higher the number of units, and consequently the more kids are saved.
Wow, that's a powerful statement.
Yeah, since I've been involved with Manna, which is since 2012, we've taken the cost of RUTF down over 40%, even in the face of inflation and everything. I mean,
that's a huge number.
It's a very
huge
big number. So
and is that in large part then because of the power of other things, I'm sure, but does technology play a role in that?
Well, certainly it plays a role for us because we're we're not for profit, but we're also a manufacturer. So for us, really managing the cost of production and being efficient as you can, and also maintaining the kind of quality that you need to maintain to meet the requirements of your customers is critically important.
And can you give us an overview, as best you can, the role of NetSuite and their integrated solutions? How does that play in your, as we say, back office or front office operations? Give us paint a day in the life of how that works.
We use NetSuite as a full-fledged ERP system, which means we're using it for our accounting and finance function.
Okay.
And that includes all the things that go with that, paying bills, collecting money, sending out bills. But we also use it in our manufacturing environment for manufacturing control and warehouse control. So we use it to really track and control inventory. We use it to effectively determine the true cost of what it takes to manufacture the product we manufacture. And then we also use it from a quality control perspective to track and monitor, execute on the quality control initiatives that we have associated with the production process.
For those who may not be familiar, can you help us understand give us one scenario that could be a problem? If you didn't track this right inventory or your productions, what's a scenario that you could wake up in the morning and be like, no, this went wrong? What's the bad benefit of not being able to do the inventory right?
First of all, we have all of our product is tracked through lots. So the materials the ingredients we receive in have a lot information associated with them. The product we produce has lots associated with it. So if there's ever an issue with a product that comes out of our plant, we can easily trace it from our product all the way back to the original supplier, and he in turn it's not quite blockchain, but I think we're on our way there.
Okay, and that's just one scenario of many, I'm sure, that affect the logistics, or you're having too much or too little. What about your partners? How does that affect? You mentioned, for example, UNICEF. How does the integration of technology with NetSuite and other things deal with UNICEF for you, and then the child at the end result? How does that logistic?
We have requirements in terms of how the product gets to our customer in terms of attaching to it certain credentials called a certificate of acceptance, or a COA, and so we really require data coming from the production side of things that get incorporated into this COA and make it possible for it to easily get through the port authority and out into the country. We're more of a high dollar, low volume biller. So the need for connectivity and automation in the billing process is not as significant for us as the manufacturing side of things are. But again, we use it very much to generate that bill, to get the bill to them in as automated a fashion as possible.
And then you said receiving money, I guess, as a nonprofit, is a large part of the work that you do, or what you want is to receive donations to help power your work, or no?
We're a little different than your typical not-for-profit. We're a manufacturer. We sell, and we sell at a margin, enough margin to cover our costs and also help us fund and grow and support growth. And we think the growth is important in terms of being able to continue to do more to drive down the cost. So we do receive in donations, but in our case, we really donations are used 100% to fund the fulfillment of additional product out in the field. So none of our donations go to help with operations or cover support costs. 100% goes. So that's really us just trying to increase the size of the market. But rather our own financial strength is driven by our ability to manage a reasonable bottom line for a not-for-profit and generate enough that we can then take the gains we have and reinvest that. And I like to say we reinvest it in dividends to our investors and our shareholders, and our shareholders are the kids that we feed.
I love this. And so in essence, what I'm hearing is that you're kind of the supermarket for nonprofits who are feeding kids. You're not so worried about but if you can drive your costs down as low as you can, UNICEF is happy because they don't want to shop at the places I shop.
Right.
They want to go and get your goods at the lowest possible to feed more kids. Is
that's very well said.
See, I'm a pretty Mama, you raised a smart kid. Awesome.
Very good.
Chris, anything I didn't ask you today that you want to talk about, that you want to share with us as we and thank you for your time and helping us understand.
No, you're very welcome. I appreciate the chance to tell you a little bit about what we do and about what our mission is, and also appreciate the opportunity to come here and speak with you at this NetSuite conference. NetSuite's been very good to us.
Great.
And has really helped us, in our path towards success.
No, you're right. People can't see it, but you look behind the glass, you can see vendors and apps and the whole ecosystem that NetSuite's put together, and it's cool to me that there's for-profit
Yep.
companies who are doing what they do, and we need them
Yep.
and shop at them. But then there's this world of how to do good and help others.
That's right.
And I've been blessed and honored to talk to organizations like yourself, Man and Nutrition, of how we can help save other people who are much less fortunate, much less than our own children are. So
Yep.
thank you, Chris,
Thank
so
you,
much.
Raymond. Appreciate it.